Hey guys, and today I am going to be doing a reacting to unpopular K-pop opinions from sites such as Quora. So just a reminder that the screenshots of these opinions are not mine. I'm sure y'all tired of hearing disclaimers, but remember these are just my opinions. I am more than happy for you to believe something else and write what you believe in the comments. Starting with Jennie, she is most certainly not talentless. I have to admit she is not the best singer. Her live vocals are poor and her expressions on stage are not amazing, although she is definitely improving. However, Jennie is an incredibly underrated idol dancer. I think her pretty girl image definitely bites her in the back because fans often immediately assume visuals are talentless. In regards to Dahyun, I will be honest and agree that she is a typical idol rapper but not talentless. I am not the biggest fan of Dahyun's raps. Maybe because I prefer a bit of a harsher tone, whereas Dahyun's voice is soft. I could see Dahyun as a great singer and I think she was trained to be a singer, right? Once is correct me if I am wrong. I partially agree. For me it is too heavy, but I totally appreciate that a lot of ARMYs love that about his voice because it makes it unique. I have to disagree. I am no vocal expert, but Jennie has a limited vocal range while performing and seems to shout some of the notes to reach the high pitch. This is not the best technique. Her voice does not have a vocal uniqueness unlike Rose's, for example. It is mediocre, but we must remember she was not trained as a singer. I am not against her becoming more of a vocalist in the upcoming comebacks, but I hope to hear another rapping verse soon. I hope YG does not waste her rapping potential because her rap in D4 was great and it proves her place as main rapper. No one is born ugly, we are just born in a judgmental society, a quote said by Namjoon, and I think it perfectly sums up what I have to say. Although both Chaeyeon and Chaeyoung do not fit the typical Korean beauty standards, their individual charms make them gorgeous in their own ways. True beauty is the state of being authentic and loving yourself and has nothing in relation to our hair or bodies or faces. Sometimes I wish there would be 2 Roti awards because they are definitely the best boy groups of the 4th generation. No one is more deserving than the other, and although I prefer a teaser's concept, discography and stage performances, I know that Text is also ridiculously talented. Unfortunately, no matter who you prefer, Text was always going to get Rookie of the Year anyways because ROTY awards are largely based on Korean popularity and the Text members appeal more to Korean fans. Text have more visuals in line with typical Korean beauty standards, whereas ATEEZ have beautifully unique visuals. Secondly, TXT's cuter and fresh concept is more Korea's taste, whilst ATEEZ experiments more with harder concepts, with few exceptions of course. Finally, companies also come into play, and do I think all of TXT's success is because they're from Big Hit and associated with BTS? No. Not quite, but we cannot deny that also had a big impact on the outcome. I partially agree. I think the other members of Red Velvet have good stage presence, but they are very inconsistent. There will be some stages and eras in which the girls are doing okay. Our BB era was the definition of stage presence, but half their other stages and eras lacked stage presence. Seulgi and Wendy, in my opinions, are the only members who show full expression in every performance they execute, which is very admirable. On the other hand, Irene, for example, usually keeps a blank face, maybe throwing in a smile here and there. Red Velvet is such a musically diverse group, and I always felt as a group their stage presence was their weakest area because as a whole they nailed the vocals, etc. I partially agree and disagree. They are both such charismatic and magnetic performers, but Soyeon can go overboard with the lip bites sometimes and it becomes a tad bit cringy to watch LMAO. I think Soojin is a perfect example of an idol who is an incredible performer without overdoing expressions. I never had a problem with Mia's way of performing, but I have noticed that she lacks a variety of facial expressions, which was noticeable during Dun Dun era in particular. Has anyone noticed that she tends to do the Debbie Ryan smile face LMAO? No? Okay, just me then. Nonetheless, I prefer over-exaggerated expressions to none at all. I have to disagree. Although she is not my favorite rapper, I think she deserves the hype because her flow and style is great. What I appreciate the most is her versatility and the fact that she can transition between girl crush rap to cuter rap, etc., which many rappers lack, and many people dislike her nasally voice, but I personally really enjoy this sort of tone because it creates a chic aura. This is why I have always liked rappers such as Hyuna, Soyeon and Yeon. The fact that she writes the lyrics to her verses is a bonus. In regards to the yelling and messy section, I somewhat agree, but I think it is almost a good mess. Take Icy for example. Their chorus is a weird and wonderful mix of techno sounds and beats which can be a bit off-putting to some people, but I found it unique because I think this almost messy sound fits perfectly with their message. I know a lot of people think it is repetitive, but honestly I am not bothered because this loving yourself concept is just a breath of fresh air from the dating and breakup songs. I just hope JYP starts giving them more proper lyrics in the chorus because they often shout in the chorus. I partially agree. At first listen it was not my cup of tea at all, but if you listen later, you best believe I was singing that song in my sleep. Jungha's vocals were on point as usual, as was the choreography. Her choreographies always complement the song well. But can we talk about the visuals? Like the stylists have upped their game and needs a raise. As a whole, considering visuals, choreography, vocals, etc., play is amazing, but in terms of song, Stay Tonight is still my favorite. I have nothing against it because first of all the drama gains more publicity whilst the idols gather more popularity, so it is a win-win situation. I know some idols are also trained in acting, but of course most have a speciality in singing, dancing, and therefore when I see an idol's act it ruins the experience. I am okay with an idol playing a side character, but if role is an integral part of the storyline it can sometimes put me off. I am not saying all idol actors are terrible, but of course we can't expect a performance idol to excel in acting. I would not say it's the best, but definitely good. Source Music didn't have a lot of resources in their early years and it was clearly apparent. They were heavily criticized for looking cheap, but recently their styling has been developing greatly and the evolution from Glass B to Apple is huge. Personally I think it's CG Idol Eyes Oh No My Girl WJSN have great styling.
Period.